everyone, my name is Aisha, and today we'll be giving the defense side for the defendant Oedipus in the trial of Oedipus Rex, and how he was destined to do the unfortunate acts he committed. As a child, Oedipus was told by an oracle he would eventually murder his father. Oedipus unfortunately fulfilled the oracle's prophecy by murdering King Laos, his biological father, and again unfortunately is a damned child and husband. On the contrary, the number of traits Oedipus has outweighs the negatives about him, as his character and the actions that came with them show far more about him than the two poor acts that he had no will over doing. One thing is Oedipus saved the entire kingdom of Thebes from perish from the Sphinx, when he was the one who solved the riddle, showing his cleverness and quick thinking skills. Another is how he stepped up to find the person who killed King Laos without hesitation, showing his eternal love and care for Thebes, though he already helped with the national issue of Thebes before. One more of many is his determination, which is what helps him try and be the best father he could be to his daughters throughout the years and protect Thebes. These are the three main points we'll be covering in our part of the trial. Mr. Oedipus himself is not guilty of these acts because the gods forever hated him. Everyone in his life aided in fulfilling this horrid prophecy, but Oedipus did everything in his power not to fulfill it. We have our defendant and four witnesses: King Polybos, adopted father of Oedipus; Queen Iocastê, back from the dead, mother and wife of the defendant; the oracle; and the Sheperd that witnessed the death of King Laos. They will be talking about what their relationship with Oedipus was like, and to those who were not close with Oedipus, what they recall from their interactions with him. In addition to our witnesses, we have four lawyers, including me, attorney Vittoria, who will be interviewing Mr. Oedipus and Queen Iocastê, attorney Aine, who will be interviewing the oracle, King Polybos and the Sheperd, and attorney Erica, who will be finishing off with their closing statement. Up first, we have Miss Vittoria and the defendant.
First, we'll examine the defendant, Oedipus Rex. Mr. Oedipus, do you believe you were in control when you killed your father, King Laos, and married your mother, Iocastê?
No, I was unaware of my actions at the time. I had no control over what I was doing. It was the will of the gods and the prophecy they created.
So you say the gods wanted you to have such a terrible fate. If this is so, why do you think the gods hated you so much? You said, the man with the gods declared to be a defilement in the house of Laos, when referring to yourself.
I have no idea what I've done for the gods to hate me, so that it is not the job of mortals to question the gods. All I know is that they wanted that fate for me and expressed it through the oracle and the prophecy, so it was the fate I received.
Exactly. The gods hated you. They cursed you with a terrible fate from the time you were born, before you could have done anything wrong. We don't know why the gods hated you, but it is undeniable that they did, and since the gods are all powerful, nothing you could have done would stop them. Still, the prosecution team argued you had some free will. Do you think you could have prevented this prophecy?
Prevent it? I did everything I could. I asked Polybos about the prophecy. I ran away from my entire life with my parents. I sent out people to investigate the former king's death. What more could I have done? I did everything. I dreaded the prophecy. The gods made a monster of me.
It is true. You truly found a terrible fate, but is it terrible enough? Do you believe you received ample punishment for your terrible actions?
My mother is dead, my father is dead, my children shunned, myself blind. I have lost everything. The gods have taken everything from me. Other than my life, what else could I have taken away? Yes, I have done terrible deeds, but they are not of my doing. I took my punishment because the gods willed it, but what more punishment can I receive?
This is all from the defendant.
Now let us move on to our second witness, the oracle from Delphi. Oedipus's written testimony states that Apollo said through his prophet that he was the man who should marry his mother and shed his father's blood. And Creon, who visited you, foretold the same thing. Is this correct?
Yes, this is correct. I told the young Oedipus when he ran away from home to ask me if he was adopted.
And prophecies are given by the gods in the fate. Am I correct? You are their messenger on earth.
Indeed, I was sent by Apollo to give messages and tell people their fate in Delphi. I have become the most famous temple worldwide, and everywhere people are trying to find out their future of me. I do not ask why God sends the messages or how they will come true. I am only the messenger.
And so it is the gods in fate who have control over the outcomes of Oedipus and all of those around him. According to your people's culture, it is the gods who have control over everyone in this world. Am I incorrect?
No, this is certainly the case. There is nothing you can do to escape your fate. Fate will always overcome your free will.
And my final question for you, Honorable Oracle of Delphi, it job, your purpose on Earth, to convey the messages of the gods to the people of this land. Would you say you've done a job well done?
Yes, I believe I have done as well as possible to give people messages from the gods and let them see their future. I have told the fate of everyone who came with me without ever having any flaw.
And even if you did not believe in fate, how can you deny the outcomes predicted decades in advance before the birth of Oedipus himself?
Now we'll speak with Iocastê, wife and mother of Oedipus Rex. Miss Iocastê, is it true that you and your husband tied your newborn son's ankles together and left him to die?
I mean, yes, but we had a good reason. There was a prophecy saying he would kill my husband and marry me. We were just trying to protect everybody. It was for the best.
So then you knew of the prophecy and you believed it. Did you have faith in the oracle and the gods?
Yes, I did.
Why then did you deny the prophecy to Oedipus later on when you said, have no dread of them? You were perfectly willing to kill your son, but when the prophecy actually seemed like it would come true, all you did was deflect and deny.
I said, now you remember the story. Oedipus was killed by marauding strangers where 3 highways meet. But his child had not been 3 days in this world before the king had pierced the baby's ankles and left him to die on a lonely mountainside. Thus, Apollo never caused that child to kill his father. It was not Oedipus' fate to die at the hands of his son, as he had feared. This is what prophets are worth. Have no dread of them. I thought I spoke the truth, and I thought we stopped the prophecy. I was sure of myself.
Your actions were irrational and hypocritical. You said, have no fear of sleeping with your mother. How many men in dreams have lain with their mothers? No reasonable man is troubled by such things. You gave terrible advice to your son to preserve your own name. The diction and the way you said this tells this court that once you probably realized that the truth would come out, you took back your opinion and wanted to ameliorate everyone's perception of you by saying that sleeping with your mother is a normal thing for a normal man, when you know a reasonable man would not. Do you admit that there was a variety of actions you could have taken to prevent the terrible fate of Oedipus Rex, and that you were at least partially responsible for the fate?
Yes, I suppose I should have warned Oedipus and not attempted to kill my newborn son.
Now we will speak with the adopted father of Oedipus, Polybos. Polybos, could you please explain how you came to know the defendant?
He was brought to me as a baby. I had no children of my own, so my wife, Merope, and I took him and raised him as if he were our own son.
But he wasn't actually your own son, and Oedipus almost figured that out. When he went to you with his suspicions, however, you were not truthful. Oedipus said, the next day I visited my father and mother, and questioned them. They stormed, calling it the slanderous rant of a fool. You acted like it wasn't true, but it was. If it hadn't been, you wouldn't have become upset. At the time when Oedipus asked you this question, you were not only aware that he was not your actual son, but also the prophecy that said he would kill his father.
Yes, I was aware, but as I wasn't his actual father, I was not worried.
So you knew of your son's possibly terrible fate and decided not to warn him? Then he ran away because of your refusal to tell the truth, which eventually led to the prophecy becoming fulfilled, the reason why we are here today. I must ask, why on Apollo's name would you not tell Oedipus about the fate? Why would you not protect him if you really loved him like a son?
I'm sorry. I didn't want him to know I wasn't his real father. I never thought he would run away. I thought we had to save him, save everyone, and stop the prophecy.
But you didn't. In the end, your irresponsible actions directly led us here today. A final question. If you had told Oedipus the prophecy and the truth about his parents, do you think he would be at this trial?
No. I don't know how to say his name. Oedipus.
Oh my god, John! But you didn't. In the end, your irresponsible actions directly led us here today. A final question. If you had told Oedipus of this prophecy and the truth about his parents, do you think we would be at this trial?
No, Oedipus is very smart. He would have stayed with Merope and I, and never gone anywhere near his true parents. Perhaps this could have happened. Who am I to deny fate? But it certainly would have been much less likely.
With the partial admittance of guilt from Iocastê and Polybos in the powerful statements about the nature of gods from the oracle and Oedipus, we now move to our final witness, Sheperd. What do you know about your involvement in the murder of King Laos? With the partial admittance of guilt from Iocastê and Polybos and powerful statements about the nature of gods from the oracle and Oedipus, we now move on to our final witness, the Sheperd. What do you know about your involvement in the murder of King Laos?
There have been prophecies. It will say that a boy will kill his own father. And I thought that this man would take him far away from his own country. He didn't kill his son, but he saved him. But what a fate.
So you're saying that there was already a prediction in place that this would happen? What do you mean when you say fate?
If these things happen, cannot be changed.
But Oedipus was spared, even though King Laos was told he would kill him.
King Laos was told that he would be killed by the sun, and instead of accepting fate, he decided he would kill his boy meant to kill him. But he didn't do that. King Laos took his son out of this country and wanted to die in nature, and found him and saved him. Fate let him die.
How old was this child when you gave him away?
I brought him up, and he grew up to be a man.
Obviously not old enough to make his own decisions, though, and most definitely not old enough to remember his first father.
He had no idea about his father, and he didn't even want to kill his father. And it was fate that led him to do this. He had a fate to kill his father. Fate lit on his future path. It was preordained.
So on that day, when the old king was traveling, there would have been ways for Oedipus to know that there would have been no way for Oedipus to know that the man who he had thought attacked him, in fact did not attack him, and was indeed his father, a kind man. He would have been perceiving that the old king and his guard were a threat after traveling for so long, because he was trying to avoid killing who he thought he was his father.
Now you've heard from 4 witnesses and the defendant himself as to why Oedipus Rex was not in control of his actions when he murdered King Laos and married his mother. Oedipus was hated by the gods, thus he had immortal, all-powerful beings against him from the very beginning. The oracle himself confirmed that no matter what Oedipus would have done, it would have ended the same way. Additionally, Oedipus did try to stop his fate. He was seen by the people of Thebes, represented through the chorus, as a great leader and a good man. He sent out his people to investigate the death of Laos, not knowing that he was the true culprit. Those around Oedipus also contributed to his fate. Iocastê, the Sheperd, and Polybos, among others, all acted in ways that eventually led to Oedipus' downfall. The prosecution may argue that Oedipus was a tragic hero, that his arrogance or hubris led to his tragic fate. But how did Oedipus' arrogance cause the Sheperd to spare his life? How did Oedipus' arrogance cause Iocastê to try to kill her newborn son? And how did Oedipus' arrogance cause Polybos to neglect the truth, to tell the truth to his son about the dire prophecy? Therefore, his actions can be attributed to many people, but in the end, Oedipus' fate was the result of just that, fate.